Welcome back, boys and girls, to application 2, strings using loops. We have completed questions 1 to 6. We're now at question 7. Question 7 reads, input a sentence, convert the sentence to uppercase, create a code by replacing all vowels with an X. Now here's your sentence. We need to replace the vowels with an X. So E is replaced, the O and U is replaced, the A, E. So we have basically created some kind of a secret code. So looking at this, you can decipher what this means. So we've created a code by replacing vowels with an X. Now you can change this and try on your own. For example, replace E with an X, and you can use another vowel like O with a Z, so you can change it around. You can replace it with a dollar sign, with any of the characters on your keyboard. But for this question, we need to replace your vowels with an X. There are many ways to answer this question. But again, I remind you that when we're looking at single letters, single characters, I'm using the word character because we have a space that's a character, we have a full stop that's a character. So if there's a number here, it's a character. So when we look at individual characters, it is in most cases best to use a loop to run from 1 to the length and then visit each character and decide what you need to do. So one option is to delete the E and insert an X. There's a much easier way to do that. So if you have deleted the E and inserted an X and it works, then that is fine. An easier option is you just simply replace the E with the X using an assignment statement. You assign the letter. So what am I talking about? Let's look at our work. Replace vowels with X. Okay, so I remind you again, we're running from 1 to the length. These sentences have been converted to uppercase. If the question requires you to convert to uppercase, you can or you may. If you don't need to, then you can leave that out. And our question, it has been typed in. Okay, it said convert the sentence to uppercase. There's it here. So it has been converted to uppercase. So that's a tick for you. So you're running from 1 to length. Now, if it is a vowel, we didn't have to check for lowercase because we converted it to uppercase. So if the character you're looking at is a vowel, then we change the character at that point with an X. We replace it with X. So we simply write what's in that point. You write it using an X. So if you look at the question, it said meet you at 10 at Rings. So if we're looking at meet you at 10. Okay, I'll just say meet you. Stop there for now. Now what happens here, IC is going to run from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a space, 6, 7, 8 in this sentence. So an IC is 1, it's an M, so it doesn't do anything because it is only going to do something if it's a vowel. So at position 2, an IC is 2, it's E. So what will happen? Sent 2 at position 2 is now equal to an X. So what happens is at position 2, right there in sent itself, the E is replaced by an X. IC is 2. Then IC goes up to being 3. Remember, we're going down the entire sentence. So an IC is 3, it's a vowel, so you replace it with X. It does a replace, it writes over the E. Then when it's 4, it does, at position 4, it's a T, so it won't do anything. But the blank, it'll do nothing. When we reach, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're 6, 7. When we reach 7, there's an O. And O is a vowel, so at position 7, the vowel is changed to is overwritten with an X. And then finally at position 8, the U is overwritten with an X. So all we do is this part here. So we simply do that. We replace the character that's there with an X. The question also stated to display how many vowels were replaced. So we needed a counter. The counter starts with 0. Count has increased. Remember, we need to increase the counter only if we're replacing. Therefore, this increase statement is within the begin and end of the if. So only if it's a vowel, we replace the vowel and we count it. So when you come out of your if statement, it is nice to comment the if statement. I know that's an if statement. And I know this is a for loop. That's called comment statements, reminder. Right. So we comment it. It makes it easier for us to know that this ends the if statement. So your I count is within the if statement. And the if statement is within the loop. There's where a loop ends. After the loop, we simply display the sentence and the number of vowels replaced. So running this. So the sentence is meet you at 10. Let me clear my writing there. Okay, meet you at 10. And we go for replace vowels. Sentence, meet you at 10. So vowels have been replaced with X. And there are 2, 4, 5, 6 vowels that have been replaced. So that is your answer for question 7. Now looking at the next question, the final question for your application. Final question was, input a sentence, count the number of occurrences of a full stop. If no full stops are found, display suitable message. So we're counting again. With all the counting, there are marks allocated for initializing it to 0 and to count every time you need to increase it by 1 when you need to. So you still enter a sentence, but here you're counting if it's a full stop. Now, by looking for a full stop, yes, we're looking for a single character. And because we're looking for a single character, we need a for loop. And this if statement says, we need an if statement to decide whether there are full stops or not. So how will we know if there are full stops? We can simply see or check the value of count. If count is still 0, it means there was no full stops. But if count has counted some full stops, then we can display the number of full stops. So again, we need a for loop. So looking at your answer, this is a simpler one. We've counted the A's. So it is just like counting the A's, but we're counting a for full stops. So read your sentence, count is 0. You're looping through till the end of the sentence. If the character is equal to a full stop, you can put the equal to sign or you can put an in. Remember, if you're putting the equal to sign, you cannot have the square brackets. The square brackets are only being used if there's an in statement to say it's in that set. So square brackets is basically used to indicate a set of values. So in this case, there's a full stop in that set. So if Sensi is in the set of a full stop, then you're going to count it. Now your option could have been, you could have simply put in S cent IC if it's equal to a full stop. You could have done that in this part here. Right, you could have done, that could have been replaced with this. So if it is a full stop, then you count it. And when we've completed, I'm going to comment this again. Get into a habit of commenting your work. Right, that's your for. So after my for loop, I will check the value of count. If it's greater than 0, it means I found some full stops. So the number of full stops and I've got I count here. To convert it to a string so I can display int to string. Else it means there are no full stops. Well, obviously you can change this around. You could have said if I count is equal to 0, then there's no full stops, else, and you can display the full stop. Remember, there are many ways to answer all of these programs. I've just provided one set of solutions. I've shown you some solutions that do not work and should not be used because it works only for some examples, like when we're deleting the vowels. The delete statement does not work for all because of consecutive vowels. So in this one, there are many ways in which you can approach this, but this is one set or one answer that you can use. Boys and girls, you need to believe that you can, and you're halfway there. That's Theodore Roosevelt. So remember, boys and girls, programming is fun. I hope you've enjoyed strings. Please practice. The more times you practice, the easier programming becomes. You have to practice. Thank you, boys and girls.